It's time for the season finale in the Daytona DMAX Heavy Enduro Championship. The title itself is already won by Richard Allen, but it's a three-way fight for second. And with a very interesting qualifying session in front of us, we should be in for a cracking final race of the year.
Absolutely, and let's talk first of all, Vinod. I mean, we were actually mentioning this is actually the biggest grid in the heavy category throughout the entire year, but to have qualified so well in that biggest field so far this season, got to be feeling hopeful for this race.
Yeah, I mean, it's a physical race, so I think we'll see how we go. But yeah, I like this track. I know it well. It's sort of my local. Like this layout. Love the braking zones. So yeah, looking forward to it. Tarek was giving me some advice. I've never been up this in these lofty heights before, so don't fight at the beginning. Let's make some space. So yeah, I'll try and keep that on board and then just see how we go.
So what you're saying is we should expect some Genman style, four-wheel drifts into the corners, right?
I try to keep it smooth. I seem to bog down. Us heavy seem to bog down when we sort of try to be flamboyant, as it were. But no, I'll try to keep it clean, and then maybe if I get a bit of space, yeah, maybe have a bit of a play. I mean, I do love drifting the kart, so it was a bit more easy to drift last night when it was pretty greasy out there, but a bit more grippy today. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Well, the sun is shining. I hope it shines well on you, good sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
And with Dean Walker in second position. Dean, that was so tight for pole position. I mean, you guys have set identical lap times to the 1,000th of a second. I mean, I didn't think that could happen 2 weekends in a row in this class.
No, it's pretty close out there. So, the testing went well last night. Really pleased with the kart today. So I quite like this track as well. First time I've ever been to Sandown. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the race. I think we're going to have a really good race today.
The difficulty with you starting in second place is that outside line at turn one is very difficult to maintain on the first lap. So I guess your task now is to try, wherever possible, to stay alongside Tarek as you go through turn one and try and get the apex in the left-hander.
That's going to be the plan, I think. But yeah, like you say, it's going to be difficult. The nature of the track, there's not a lot of space on turn two on the inside. So yeah, I shall try and hang on as best I can around the outside and see where we end up by the time we get to turn three.
Nearly time to go to battle. Good luck, Dean. Have a good one.
Very much. Cheers.
And well, battle is well and truly joined in the championship for P2 now. Tarek. Oh, Mr. Bennett is down the field. You have a real good chance in this championship. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good today, so quite relaxed. I don't know about the championship, but let's try to have a good race. I enjoy fighting with Dean and Vinod. They're really fair racers, and I hope we have a good race.
So it's very much just focus on the here and now. You're just going to go for the win or as best a result as possible, as opposed to thinking off in the far future and thinking, oh, well, maybe second is mine for the taking.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, try to keep my head clear. That's what I try to do. I'm surprised by the time. So I don't know if it's real. It was the same, exactly same time. Yeah, but like I said, I thought I was taking it easy, so it seems it works. So I'll try to keep it clean and go with a clear head.
Well, unless we're all part of some fantasy story, I think we are all real. Therefore, your time is real. Hopefully that translates into the race. Tarek, best of luck. Jake, I think we've got a bit of a stormer on our hands here.
Definitely. I mean, you've got the fact that Tarek Alm is on pole position. Richard Allen's in this race, but is not at the front of the grid. He's already won the title, so he's just having a playtime. But the two guys that have been in battle with Tarek Almu for second place in the championship, Pritchard's down in 7th, Bennett's down in 16th. This is going to be one heck of a race. We're going to see loads of overtaking, loads of great battles. Bring it on. It's time for the last encounter of the season in the Daytona DMAX Heavy Enduro, and this has got spicy written all over it. Tarek Almu and Dean Walker matched on the front row of the grid to the 1,000th of a second. Then you've got Vinod Hirani doing a brilliant job in qualifying to get third place. I think Blaise Sienko has just had a spin coming out of the pits on his rolling lap. So that is very awkward indeed. But then we've got this fight for second in the Drivers' Championship. Richard Allen is in the top 5. So Richard is not really here to race for the victory in terms of the title fight because he's already done it. So he's just here to have a play to finish his season and the 2018 campaign on a high. But there's 3 guys fighting for the second place spot in the championship. Tarek Almu has gained a point for getting on pole position, and that helps him because he's currently sat in third in the driver's points. Rob Bennett is second in the points, and he's starting way back in 16th. The other man in the equation is Alex Pritchard, and he starts from 7th. So this is game on for Tarek Almu.
Absolutely, in a true M. Night Shyamalan plot twist, Richard Allen is the pigeon amongst the cats. Because there are a lot of drivers there hungry to move their way up the order. For Tariq, it could not have gone any better up until this point. He's got an hour to make it count.
And if anybody's going to take a victory off him at the start, it's going to be Dean Walker. But then you've got the likes of Lee Whitney in the mix there at the front end of the field as well. And he could do with ending his season on a positive note.
Yes.
So let's see how this works. Rising up through, ready for a start. And we are underway and racing. It's a good getaway from Walker. He is going to try and stay to the left side, but Tarek Almu holds the line. Whitney's going for broke early up the inside and gets third. Whitney shoots up to third on the inside of Vinod Hirani. Goodness me, give that man a lollipop. He's gone for broke early. Absolutely fantastic.
Did Vinod take sleep medicine before this? Because he was caught napping.
Oh, he got a yellow flag at turn 4, but it takes a lot for you to be speechless, James Kirk. That was a mental
I
move.
couldn't believe how he managed to pull that off. Either way, he did. Amazing start. And look at this.
Here comes Pritchard up the inside of Unit. He's not going to get there, but that was a very good assault. As now Bennett is trying to make progress up through the field, trying to make as many positions up the inside as he can. So it's Almu from Walker, Whitney, then Unit, Pritchard and Newton leading the Super Heavies. From Richard Allen in 7th, then Chris Monroe. Great to see him up the sharp end on his comeback.
It was Vinod who had the spin then, surely.
Yeah, Vinod has had the spin and into the barrier.
Along with Pertek and Roland.
What was that he was saying to him in the interview where he said, I've just got to take it easy in the first couple of laps? Unfortunately, it's all come undone.
Might not have been his fault, of course. It's at a real awkward point from our view where we can't really see exactly what happened. But
well, let's have a look at it back, because there are a couple of drivers on the scene of the moment with onboards, and it's just one of those incidents. Unfortunately, when you get too many drivers into too short a space, there is not a lot you can do about it. And Vinod Hirani, from his onboard, we can see he's got very, very unlucky there. And unfortunately, that drops him down into 20th position, a whisker in front of the other two men caught out in it, Nick Rowland and Robert Pertak. A real shame for those two. For Robert Pertak in particular, he is a long, long way down the order, as is Nick Rowland. They won't stay that low for long, though.
Yeah.
And Monroe are battling for the super heavy victory, and Monroe's got him. He's nailed him and sold him a dummy into turn 7. And that has been absolutely nailed by Chris Monroe, who's now charging after Pritchard. So in the super heavy category, Monroe takes the lead in front of Newton, with Holiday in behind Richard Allen on the road. But it's not quite worked out like that, as Roland is really going for it in the mid-pack. Roland's going to try and get a couple of places in one move there. Is that Roland? No, sorry, that's Vinod Hirani. Hirani trying to make his way through on a couple of drivers there to get himself back up the order, as Blaise Sienko goes wheel to wheel with Andrew Hayne, with Steve Lindley, and gets through round the outside. Nice move from Sienko. Watch Dean Walker for the lead. Here we go. Tarek Almu is not going to be able to disappear and run away and hide, but he's not going for the move yet, Dean Walker. I think he wants a little bit of cooperation from Lee Whitney. Meanwhile, Monroe has a little cheeky look at Pritchard. Bennett is not able to catch up to the three guys in front yet. He's dealt with Andrew Hayne, but Hayne, if anything, is catching Bennett. As up the inside again, Lindley takes on Sienko. So Lindley gets Sienko back.
Fastest lap from Dean Walker.
And Pritchard goes side by side with Monroe. Gets him held off around the outside. Monroe going for it, but Pritchard hangs on by a thread. Still relentlessly close. The top three still together. And here comes a move up the inside from Hayes, trying to get on the inside of Gary Martin. Didn't quite manage to get that move sussed out. Pritchard running brilliantly in front of Monroe, then Allen tucked up behind Newton, Holiday, and Rob Bennett unable to catch them. And up the inside, Monroe on Pritchard! Oh, squeezes him!
Got him!
He has got him. Monroe through past Pritchard. Then Pritchard having another crack at Monroe, is he? No, not yet. But then comes Richard Allen, and there goes the move from Newton to get back on Darren Holiday. So Holiday had initially got through again. Here comes Vinod Hirani charging through the field on Sienko. Runs deep. Sienko gets him back. This is a good fight back from Vinod Hirani, though. Hopefully there'll be no bathroom breaks in the middle of the race for him this time.
Fingers crossed.
What's been known as a Hirani, because it's a funny nickname, but it was a bit of a problem in the last Enduro he competed in, and he couldn't hold it any longer. Had to pit, disappear, and then return after 5 minutes.
I tell you what, I was looking at these guys going around on the first half of that lap. Hayne and Bennett. Hayne is seriously putting Bennett under a lot of pressure. Look, as they come down the back straight now. There's the classic dip of the head to get a little bit more straight line speed from Bennett. But Hayne is keeping him more than honest.
And Andrew Hayne has got one of the coolest helmet designs in the paddock. It's a blend of the Ferrari colours and the Marco Simoncelli colours. He's got a lot of passion, this man. He loves his motorsport. And it's a really exciting battle. He's now locked in with Rob Bennett as up the road. That's Holiday back through on Newton. So those two are squabbling away. Still having a great race. Up at the front, it's Almu, Walker and Whitney, with Walker getting another fastest lap of the race in, a 46.39 now. We could be in the 45s before half distance with the pace we've currently got. As up the inside, Hayes goes for the move again on the inside of Gary Martin. And Hirani, who has ended up at the back of that queue again, may well get himself another opportunity to move forward. Race action everywhere you look in heavy enduro. Here comes Walker, looking for a move on Tarek Almu this time, maybe. Not yet, he just wants to get away from Whitney.
That's as close as he's been, though, Jake. That is by far and away as close as he's been. But you're absolutely right. They can't, well, in particular, Walker can't afford to launch a move because Lee Whitney is still too close. He's still within a second of these front two. Just got to keep on going and keep on building that gap to unit behind him fourth.
Newton had a little bit of a lunge on Allen, and Allen put his hand in the air as if to say, come on, stop shoving me through the apexes, mate. This isn't the way to play it. And a late lunge on Cienko. That was beautiful from Darren Hughes in the hairpin. That was as late as possible, making the overtaking move.
That's a lot of bobbing.
That's Bennett. Oh, Bennett on the inside.
Ooh,
gets the move. And again, Richard Allen gesticulates in frustration. Bennett nudged Allen in the braking zone. Allen got away with it. Bennett is still side by side with Holiday, but he can't get the move start. This is yet again the pressure cooker and the frustration from Rob Bennett. Pertagny is going to get the blue flag. You need to move over, mate, because Whitney is right behind you. As Allen makes the move on Pritchard. That's an important one. Richard Allen gets through on Pritchard. Lindley overshoots and manages to get the move on Hayne. A little bit behind these guys. Pritchard is back on the inside of Allen. And watch out, because on the inside that could be a move from Newton. Move from Holiday. Allen dives for the inside of Pritchard. Bennett's going to get the undercut. So Bennett has been able to use that moment. He's going to come up. Allen the champion. Pritchard and Bennett fighting with the race leader Tarek Almu for second in the points. Those three are all on track together. So Allen, Pritchard and Bennett. Absolutely terrific. Bennett has finally done the homework he needs to get into this fight. Now it's a three-way scrap for sixth. Here comes Pritchard. In the slipstream of Allen, not close enough yet. Bennett is tight in behind though. He's done the hard work. Now he's going to have to do the harder work. His determination. He's not going to give up. He's going to keep pushing. As Pritchard loses a place to Newton and is under threat of losing a place. Oh, sorry, he lost the place to Holiday. I keep making that mistake. Holiday is the one with the orange gloves. Holiday's got through.
Oh, wow.
Newton,
oh, wow, look at that. Sorry, lawn mowing from Vinod.
Yeah, Vinod grass cutting. As Blaise Cienko loses 2 places with a bit of dodgy braking. He's second behind the leader, right behind the leader, is always the better position to be in karting. Tarek Almu is doing all the hard work here, so Dean Walker doesn't have to.
Watch out for Dean Walker. The fact that he is able to follow so closely, that's a bad omen for Almu.
It really is. Yeah, you're right. It really is, because when the moment is ripe, he is going to strike, and I'm not sure Tarek Almu knows when it's coming, because only Dean Walker knows when he's going to make the overtaking move. Tradition states that it's in the last 5 minutes.
Bennett's
However,
past Munro.
Yeah, Bennett has got past Chris Munro on the last lap. Munro's been passed again by Darren Holiday on this lap. Pritchard's coming through as well. Pritchard diving through. Munro's a little unsettled.
Dropping like a stone.
Yeah,
Goodness
Lindley's
me.
gone through. Oh, no, sorry, that is Newton that's gone through. Haynes gone through, and now Lindley. Munro's got a problem. That is not the Chris Munro I know. He's got a problem. No problem.
Oh, wow, look at
Pritchard's
this.
going for it on Newton.
Goodness
Oh.
me. Struggled to get that stopped.
Yeah, Munro's banging the steering wheel in frustration. He's coming
Munro.
in. A problem for Chris Munro, whether it's with him or whether it's with the car. But something is not right for Chris Munro,
what
and
a
he's
shame.
really, really irritated. He was dominating super heavies, and he was in 5th overall until Alan started catching him. And I think whatever it was that's just developed since then, it's unsettled him. Bennett, however, has got Holiday all over the back of him now. Holiday wants a piece of Bennett. He's going to dive!
Wow.
And Bennett shuts him down. Brilliant. Bennett shuts him down in exactly the right moment. Goodness me.
Good. It's like almost like a fly. He was trying to swat him away, Holiday.
Yeah, that was a bit torpedo-ish, wasn't it? That was a good Daniel Kvyat moment from Newton.
That was a Kvyat, yeah.
This is all about strategy. Karting is so much like chess. Every move a opponent makes, you have to be ready for the offense. You have to be ready to counteract it. With karting in particular, it's the every opposite reaction debate.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and set these things up in motion. Bennett is absolutely bolting the stable door shut for Holiday, and that is forcing Holiday back into the path of Newton. Newton's going to try and get on the inside of Holiday. Holiday shuts him down, and Bennett is allowed to get away.
Tell you what, you look at them coming down this back straight now, you can already see the advantage that Rob Bennett has been able to gain with the arrival of Newton on the scene and bringing basically everyone else with him.
Yeah, Pritchard, Lindley and Hayne in the mix. Vinod Hirani not far away. And the next men on track are Tarek Almu and Dean Walker. That's how difficult this race is for Rob Bennett. He's about 5 minutes away from getting lapped by his rival in the championship.
Someone's in the barrier.
Oh yes, yellow flags. Yellow flags up at 4.
Is that Bennett?
It's Rob
It's
Bennett.
Bennett.
It's Rob Bennett. Rob Bennett has gone into the barriers at 4. Now, that's opened the floodgates as Lindley now makes his move on the inside of Pritchard. Newton's been held at bay. He goes into the side of Lindley, makes the dive into the final hairpin. Hayne's going to mug them both. Hayne gets them both. So clearly the fisticuffs have made life very difficult for Rob Bennett. His brilliant drive to fight his way back has now meant he's gone from bad to worse. He's pulling into the pits. That contact has clearly done some damage to the car, but Rob Bennett is absolutely livid. Oh, and Sienko's been tagged by Pertak. Pertak's gone into the back of Sienko. They've both spun around. Yellow flags to the hairpin. Sienko's shaking his head in frustration. So they continue on, but that was Sienko lapping Robert. No, sorry, that's for position between Pertak and Sienko. My apologies. Pertak and Sienko fighting away for position, and unfortunately they ended up tagging each other. But no, oh, that's a big lunge from Newton. Dives on Pritchard, gets the place. Hirani might get a set-up move here. He's already got past Hayne. Great run from Hirani to fight back. And who's that in the pits? Somebody's in the pits there.
Pertak.
It's Robert Pertak. And basically he is being given a tick off by the officials for far too many of these do-or-die lunges into the turn 7 hairpin. So he's getting a bit of a slapped wrist there for that. Hirani can definitely fight his way back to there. A lot of people would have been binned on the first lap and let it get to them, let it carry to the rest of their race. Vinod is actually driving one of the best races, if not the best race I have ever seen him drive.
I mean, I asked him actually as well, what are your feelings on driving in the biggest grid of the 2018 season when it comes to the heavy enduro? If you've been sent to the back,
he's made the move.
He's made it.
But now Whitney's going to lap him up the inside, and that's going to give Hayne a run at him. But fortunately, Hirani's done enough to cover it. Sorry to interrupt.
Well, no. Like, I mean, this is case in point. He's had so many more drivers to overtake after that early incident. The fact that he's done it with such aplomb should be applauded.
It's a real confidence booster for Vinod because he's his own worst critic. He's one of the nicest men in the paddock, but he's so destructive upon himself. He's really, really quick to judge himself, and his critique is never strong. So this will give him bags of confidence to know that he can do this kind of performance, having been off on the first lap, but but he's still got the pace to run at the front. This would make him very happy. Whitney lapping Pritchard. That's something he won't want to happen in the heats later. But out in front, it's still Tarek and Dean as they dance their way around the circuit, lapping back markers. Richard Allen in 5th.
Is he?
On his... no, he's not. My
Richard
apologies.
Allen's 3 tenths
Richard Allen
behind him.
has caught up to Anthony Unit, something chronic in the last few laps.
Yeah, there they are.
And they are coming out of the final turn. Richard Allen may be about to storm the Crows in the final 10 minutes of this race.
Where did that happen? Did Pertek... I'm thinking... Did Pertek have an incident with him?
No, I don't think so. I think Unit's lap times, he's just been losing 2 to 3 tenths of a second every lap. We've been so busy focusing on Tarek Almu and Dean Walker that Allen has been catching him very steadily, and he's just caught up to the back of him. And now he's going to go for the move. He's going to go for the move. Unit's going to try and block him off as Hirani goes into the barriers right in front of us. So Hirani spins.
Down to 11th. That's all his good work undone
But here
again.
comes Allen. He's through.
He's done it.
Allen has got Anthony Unit for 4th. Brilliant work from the 2018 champion. Good things come to those who wait. Yeah, Roland.
He's still there.
That's a big problem. Roland needs to get out of the way fast. As Dean Walker now gets through, that could be a race-winning moment for Tarek Almu, because Dean Walker has dropped a second off him. That is critical. Nick Rowland may have unfortunately and inadvertently changed the winner of this race, because Dean Walker has been building up to an opportunity, and that kind of proves your theory there a little bit, Kirk. Leaving it too late has cost Walker.
Jake, I was going to leave that to the end of the race. We'll wait and see. He could still very well have pace in the tank, but we'll wait and see on this one.
Well, time and time again, drivers have left it to the last, and in karting, that is the way to do it. It's the 18, that's Gary Martin. Now, Martin shouldn't cause too much of an issue, but they're going to catch him at the wrong moment here. That's going to hold him up. Blue flags are going to be there on the first corner, are they? No, no blue flags. They're going to be there at turn 2. He's waved Almu through, and he's going to wave Walker through. Now, that's critical, because Walker has gained a big amount of time there on Almu. It's within half a second. Walker can still win this race.
You know what else that was? That was excellent backmarking.
Yeah, absolutely. He needed to give them the space to get through. He didn't want to cause an issue. He didn't want to affect the race. He timed that well. Yeah, Pritchard has fallen back into the clutches of Lindley again.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, Lindley's really going for it.
That was exchange of paint schemes.
Lindley trying again on the inside of Pritchard. Oh, dear. Lindley's now going to have to go the long way round. Pritchard counteracts it, holds the inside line for the next apex. But Lindley's not done. He's going to try and get the switch back on Pritchard. He goes to the right. Pritchard moves to cover. Lindley goes back to the right to commit to the outside line, and Hayne gets up the inside. And Lindley's in the barrier! Lindley's in the barrier! Hayne squeezed Lindley out, and Lindley ran out of road. Well, the thing is, that was a legitimate move. That was a totally legitimate move from Andrew Hayne. He had the move there nailed from what I could see, but Lindley was not able to back out of it enough. So Lindley, rather sadly, ended up in the wall as a result. The unit's going to want to lap back markers, and now Almu and Walker are nose to tail again. 2 tenths of a second. That's it. Here we go. The race is on.
He's pushing him around this first sector as if he needs any other opportunity. I mean, we're looking at it. This is the corner where it's going to happen. Turn 8, sorry.
Here we
Surely.
go. Walker's now going to make the lunge. Here we go. He's going to set him up through the right-hander. Flat on the throttle. Great battle going on up the road. Walker's now starting the attack. Here we go. This is when he needs to start making the hustle. He's not close enough yet, but he's going to wait. The traffic is starting to pile up in front of him. This could be Walker's opportunity. He knows that it's coming.
2-3 more laps, Jake. Oh, it's contact there again.
Lindley gets the move on Sienko to get him out of the way. So Lindley is through on the road. Yellow flags. Yellow flags again at the barriers after turn 4. Oh no, somebody's gone off into the barriers at turn 5. My apologies. Is that Pertak?
Again.
I think that is Pertak again. So Pertak is in trouble. Bennett's going to move over and let somebody go by the look of it. Where are Almu and Walker? Nose to tail. Where is Dean Walker? What's happened to Dean Walker? He's dropped a long way back off the tail of Tarek Almu. Something has happened there. We need to look at that again. So Pertak has gone into the wall, and that is how Walker has ended up off the back of Tarek Almu. Well, it looks like waiting too long has cost Dean Walker every chance of going for the victory. Heartbreaking. Surely now, with 2.3 seconds deficit and less than a minute to go, that's game over. What a shame. Unfortunately, Robert Pertak has effectively given Tarek Almu the win. Wow, one more lap to go at the end of this one, but for Dean Walker, he's going to be furious, absolutely furious. He was just getting dialed in for the move on Tarek Almu, and now he's not going to get one.
Taken out of his hands, Jake, but then again, it was in his hands earlier in the race.
It was,
and
but
this is the time when I am.
Oh, Sienko spins right in front of us as Tarek Almu is getting held up in the traffic, but not enough. Tarek Almu is going to get the victory. Tarek Almu comes out of the final couple of corners, and for the first time in 2018, Tarek Almu wins in Daytona DMAX, the last race of the season. At last, Tarek Almu is a race winner in 2018. It's taken him so long to get there in DMAX Heavy Enduro, but he's earned that. Every single minute of this, he will absolutely love replaying over and over again in the winter.
And you know what? With Rob Bennett in 10th, that might just be second in the championship.
I'm fairly sure he's done it. Yeah, absolutely right. Tarek Almu, with the victory, has overtaken Rob Bennett in the points tally. I'm fairly sure that's done and dusted now. We'll have to double check on dropped scores. But Tarek Almu, with that victory, has sealed the runner-up spot. As far as my maths are concerned, we'll have to confirm it. And we'll obviously confirm it 3 weeks from now at the Daytona DMAX Awards. And the fastest lap of the race is on the final lap from Rob Bennett.
Of course.
Who does a 45.9. Why am I not surprised? Tarek Almu wins from Dean Walker in second. And it's Tarek Almu's first win of the season. And that win has been a long, long time coming. Whitney in third, from Alan in fourth place, and Anthony Unit in fifth. The super heavy victory goes to Darren Holiday once again, from Richard Newton in seventh. Andrew Hayne is eighth, from Alex Pritchard in ninth. And Rob Bennett, fastest lap of the race, but it's only good enough today for 10th. Vinod Hirani from Peter Hayes, Darren Hughes, Steve Lindley, Gary Martin and Paul Crucci, Mark Ford, Blaise Sienko, Robert Pertak and Nick Rowland. The only two retirements, Chris Munro and Steve Porter. What a great way to end the season. Let's hear it for our four drivers on the podium, ladies and gentlemen. Darren Holiday, Lee Whitney, Dean Walker, and your overall race winner, Tarek Almu. Darren Holiday, a fantastic win to end the season. A really strong race as well. You really got stuck in, and there were lots of elbows out and making great overtaking moves. That was a really nice race to end the season.
That was a lot of fun, yeah. I really did have to get a bit aggressive today because I'm normally quite calm and chilled and wait for everything to happen. And it did to a certain degree, but I did sort of throw caution to the wind a bit more today and go for it. And I was having a lot of fun. That was a really, really good race. I'm completely cream crackered, but that was a good race. I did the Children in Need race at Tamworth last night, so I've had it now. Now I've got to drive home, so 2 hours.
It's been an absolute privilege commentating on you all season. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the awards in 3 weeks. Good job.
Yeah, I will be there. Thank you very much indeed. And thanks to Daytona. This has been brilliant. It's been giving me a whole new lease of life this year, and I'm thrilled to bits with it. Thank you.
Let's see you back in 2020. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you.
So he's our winner in the Super Heavies. Let's go to the top three. Lee Whitney, third position. In the opening stages, that looked like it was going to be a 3-horse race, but once the traffic came into its own, circumstance just held you back.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. The boys cut through the traffic better than me. It's just boring day at the office for me, really. Just poodled around in third place. That was it. So.
But, let's put the feather back in your cap. You still managed to walk away nearly half a minute ahead of this year's champion.
I didn't realise that. I know where the first three are. I don't know where anyone else is. So, yeah, no, it's not been a bad run. I got second at MK in the Enduro last round, so third here. So, yeah, it's nice to get a bit of a run at the end of the season. So, yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you back on the podium for the heats this afternoon.
Fingers crossed, yeah. I think we're pretty much sewn up for the top three now, but I know Alex and Rob are going to be scrapping for first this afternoon, so it should be interesting. I've got grandstand seats to see that, so yeah, it should be good.
Maybe a win will sneak off you. Good job, Nee.
Cheers, Jake.
So let's have a word with the man in second place, Dean. You played the traditional karting game here today because you were sat behind Tarek for the whole race, minute after minute after minute. No, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for my moment. And you were dialed in for it, but that last yellow flag.
Yeah, that's it. You know, I mean, we spent the whole race. I was ribbing the rear bumper near enough for the whole race. You know, so close. But yeah, like you say, playing the long game. Thought, you know, we'll get somewhere near the end, get a gap to the rest of the field, and then we'll start having some fun. But yeah, just got tripped up a little bit in that last yellow flag. But still, you know, fantastic race. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Had a really good year this year as well. So yeah, shame we won't be back next year. But hopefully 2020 we'll be back here again and having some more fun.
And the way that battle played out for the two of you, I mean, it was sporting, it was great gamesmanship, craftsmanship between the two of you. You guys really gave each other as good as you could get.
Yeah, that's it. You know, we played it really well through the back markers. And yeah, just where I needed to be a little bit faster, just where I needed it the most, down the back end of the circuit there. Tarek was pulling a couple of kart lengths every lap. So just made it that little bit harder to have a go into this last hairpin. But yeah, still, I'm really, really pleased with second place. So, really good.
Valiant effort, mate. You've done a brilliant job all year. Well done, mate.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
So, for the first time, I get to talk to Tarek Almu at the end of a race as a winner. At last, Tarek. I mean, you've been working so hard for this all year, but to bow out, they always say you're only ever as good as your last race. For the next 12 months, you can tell everybody you're the best heavy driver in the biz.
Thank you. At last, like you said, yeah. Well, it was quite a battle. I always enjoy racing Dean, and he put some pressure, so I had to keep my head clear and go through the whole race. It was really challenging at times, so I could see his shadow at turn 3 always, and I could see when he switched his mind to stop like following and switching his mind to attacking. I could see his shadow moving a bit at turn 3, and it was a lot of effort to keep really consistent and on it, not get distracted by him.
We need to confirm it before it's official, which obviously we'll do at the DMAX Awards in 3 weeks. But by my maths, you finished runner-up in the championship for this year, which is, when you consider how strong Richard Allen has been all year long, to be number 2 and get a first victory in the DMAX in Heavy Enduro overall, I mean, that's the best season you've had for ages.
Yeah, we had a big break in racing as well, so it's good to be back on shape. And I had a couple of bad races, so it's good to finish on a high. It was really nice, yeah. Good race.
When we come back in 2020, I'm really looking forward to seeing you fighting for the victory every time. Good luck, Tarek.
Thank you.
Great way to end the season. Let's get James Kirk back in. Nail-biting to the last. That is exactly the kind of racing we've loved in DMAX all year.
Absolutely. I mean, you called it right. This is DMAX. This is my first time here, and honestly, oh, how tense was that? 1.5 seconds. That was as big as the gap ever got until that final yellow flag. And, you know, sometimes that is how racing goes. It's so easy for us to sit up in the comms box and speculate as to, you know, what we should do or what the drivers should do. You know, ultimately, I might not even have been right. He might not have been able to overtake him when the opportunity was there. We simply won't know. It's all ifs and buts, as racing often is, though.
But that's the one thing I love about Daytona. We are very, very good at putting the sport into motorsport. All you have to do to come and race with us next year, get onto our website, daytona.co.uk. Join us for the DMAX Awards in 3 weeks' time if you can, and we'll see you again in the future.